Okay, guys, so before we let you start dialing, there's some nuances we need to go over. As I said earlier, we do not live in a perfect world. Many people will not want to speak with you. That said, there are some pretty nasty people out there. Someone will want to scream at you. Others will want to curse you out, but that's bad enough. However, there are people out there who are actually worse than that. They want to kill you with kindness, but at the same time stab you in the back by trying to sue us. Either they're trying to sue us for calling their phone number, or they are shaking us down and threatening with a lawsuit and ask for a specific dollar amount to avoid that lawsuit. What they're looking for is you to provide them with our phone number or our website. If that happens, hang up, let us know that it happened and what phone number it is so we can DNC that number and never call it back. Do not ever provide our phone number or our website. Also, from time to time, you're going to get someone who says the caller that ID that comes up says potential scam. It's not a potential scam. Chances are that we're calling their cell phone number, and a lot of the cell phone providers have it automatically come up on their caller ID as potential scam if the phone was dialed from an IP address. In other words, it came from a computer-generated phone number. All call centers that do telemarketing that dial from an IP-based connection all face the same problem. If that happens, just simply say to the customer that you must be on a cell phone. It happens all the time. We're calling from a phone connected to the internet, and anyone who calls from the internet connected phone face the same problem. So I do apologize. It's not us, it's your provider. We are not a scam. We're not asking you for money. We're simply trying to see if you're interested in solar. All right, I'm going to talk about the dispositions and why it's so important to dispo the calls correctly and accurately. Before I do, I want to show you how our database works and how we manage it. There's over 400 million leads in our database. As you can see, they're all divided by states and counties within those states. Every state is listed and every county within each state is listed. Now, because our clients change on a daily basis, as do their coverage areas, it's very important to focus on where we are dialing to minimize out-of-area appointments. Now, it's really important to understand that the leads are more or less 70% accurate. The names may be wrong, the address may be wrong, maybe it's the wrong state, the wrong city, The only thing that we know is 100% accurate is the phone number, because we're actually speaking to somebody. That said, never, and I mean never, address somebody by the name that is listed on the lead. Am I speaking to so and so? Or ask, is so and so there? What you're doing is you're asking for trouble. Either you're asking them to lie and say they're not them because nobody wants to talk to telemarketers. You're giving them a reason not to talk to you. Or they're going to ask you how you got my number. Or if it's not them, they're going to waste your time and then go find that person. Or they're going to tell you you have the wrong number. Either way, you're setting yourself up for failure. To avoid that, keep it general and follow the script as it was written. Nowhere in the script does it ask for, am I speaking to so-and-so? Is Mr. Jones there? Are you Mr. Jones? That's not how we do things. All right, now that we got that straight, I spend most of my time managing my clients and the leads that we're calling for them. At any given time, we're dialing at least 50 lists simultaneously. That means we're not dialing one area and then going on to the next area. All the lists that are active are being dialed at the same time. On any given day, we average somewhere between 1 million and 1.5 million phone numbers we dial. That's a lot of calls. It's a lot of management. When a list is completed, I'm going to download that list and scrub it. I'm going to take out all the bad dispositions. In other words, all the do not calls, all the renters, all the low electric bills, all the not single family residences. And I'm going to take out the sales, so we don't dial those numbers again. Now, remember, I can only go by the information that you guys provide. Or simply put, how you guys disposition those calls. So if you disposition the call incorrectly, you're providing me with bad information. This creates two problems that are critical to the success of this campaign. One, we're either throwing out good leads, or worse, we're recycling bad leads. Or two, you are making another agent pay for your mistakes. So let me give you an example of what that means. Let's say you scheduled an appointment, but failed to disposition the call or dispositioned it incorrectly. Let's say you dispositioned it as an answering machine. That lead will be recycled back into the system, and someone else is going to call it and speak to that person. Let's say that second person or that second agent schedules that deal as well. So now we have the same person getting scheduled twice. not only are we most likely sending that same appointment to the same client twice, creating bad will with my client, but also creating bad will with the centers involved. So which center should get credit for that deal? Because I can't pay for both. I can only pay one center for the same deal. Now that's not fair to the second agent or the second center. It's not fair to the second agent, and it's not fair for that second agent's center's owner. Because that center owner just lost revenue because they're not getting paid on that deal. It's not fair for my QC department, who has to call every lead, every appointment to confirm and verify and then schedule that appointment, because now they have to do it twice. And it's not fair for me, as I now have to unravel this mess and figure out who did what, when, and who should get credit for it. Not to mention, it's not fair to my clients who, if I don't catch the mistake, may have to pay for that lead twice. And then I got to do some fast talking and fast apologizing. It puts me in a bad situation. Let's give you another example. Let's say an agent talked to somebody and they were a renter. And the agent dispositioned it as an answering machine. What happens? Well, eventually that lead is going to be recycled. I'm not going to take that lead out of the system because, according to you, it was dispositioned as an answering machine, which is the information I have to go on. So if someone else is going to call that person, most likely it's not going to be the same agent that didn't disposition it correctly the first time. So that agent just wasted the second agent's time and effort because they're speaking to a renter who we cannot help. If the agent dispositioned it correctly, it wouldn't be called a second time. So do us all a favor and take a few extra seconds to disposition the calls correctly. Speaking of time, don't waste it. It's the most valuable asset you have. Use it wisely. So if someone is not interested, cooperative, or it meets the 3 pre-qualifications, hang up on them. Don't waste any more time. Don't beat a dead horse. No matter what you do or what you say or how interested they are, they're still not going to qualify. Move on to the next call. And again, make sure you disposition the calls correctly. So at this point, I want you guys all to take a break, clear your heads. When you come back, you'll do the quiz, and then I want you guys to start dialing. Enjoy your smoke breaks.